Hello and welcome to Liability Libraries. Your hosts, Sophie Blair, Buchan and Kyle Baillie. So I'll start it off, guys. So we'll just start with a little introduction so the audience can get to know us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So obviously I'm Sophie, so I'm so excited to be doing this. This is like one of my dreams come true. Yapping, books, worlds are colliding right there, to be honest. So I decided to start this as a busy uni student with 2 jobs. I don't have much time to join a physical book club where I can go to the meetings and definitely read the books to date.
Yeah.
So I thought if you do one online and it's more of a kind of a podcast, video sort of thing, it means that because we'd be filming it, we can give ourselves extra time if needed. It also means you can branch out to more people. If you were doing a physical book club, less people could come, whereas thousands and thousands of people could join this.
It could be the start of a community.
Yeah. And I want to start a community of books. So just go through some of my favourite things in books. So my favourite genres are probably romance, crime and fantasy. Wee romantasy. Love a wee romantasy. My favourite author, she isn't someone who's dead popular, she's not underground, but it's Paige Toon. She was the one that got me into reading originally. It was the Johnny Be Good series. I actually read it the wrong way round. But yeah, she got me into reading. I've got every single one of her books. Some of my other favourite authors are Holly Jackson, Frida McFadden, Laurie Gilmore, and as of recent, Lauren Asher. My favourite kind of books I've read this year, so far, probably is the Powerless series by Lauren Asher. It's so good. I've literally been telling these two.
Yeah. I pass it every time I'm in a bookshop. I'm like, I need to pick that up.
It's so good, genuinely. I had weird thoughts going into it because I'd heard so many good things, but then I've heard quite a lot of bad things actually.
No, you were updating me, spoiler free. You were like, oh my, it was facial expressions.
Yeah, but genuinely, it was amazing. One of the best fantasy series I've read in a while. A series one I'm really embarrassed I haven't read is Akatar. I haven't read Akatar yet. I've had it for a year. I've had it for over a year. The whole series. Yeah, the physical series, and I'm just too scared. It's too intimidating.
Yeah, I've seen some of those chapters online.
I've got too many books to pick a favourite. I read a lot, obviously. And my favourites change. Last year, it was the Serpent and the Wings of Night or something like that. By Carissa Broderick. But now this year, I'd probably not say that's my favourite book. I can't decide on what my favourite books are. So my favourite books so far this year, 2025, is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Okay. That was incredible. I read that so fast. Yeah. It was so good. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I read that quite recently. I've actually given you it.
Yeah.
It was so lovely. It was such a lovely book. It wasn't a romance book. It was not a genre that I would usually go for. But it's quite nice branching out.
It's a slice of life sort of thing.
Yeah, which is why this is a good thing to start, because it's going to open all of us up to some new genres, new books that we never would have picked up originally. So far this year, I have DNF'd 3 books. In my whole life, I think before this year, I had DNF'd 1 book, and it was How to Fake Date a Demon, or The Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, or something like that. I just couldn't get through it. But this year, because I've been trying to broaden my horizons.
Yeah.
So I've DNF'd Bear Town by Frederick Backman, My Dark Romeo, and Baby Dragon Cafe. I'm not a dark romance reader. No. I know a lot of people like it. And no judgment if you do like it, but I just personally, I can't get behind it. I want to, I really want to, because there's so many books out there and everyone raves about them. The Hook series, I tried to read that, couldn't get into that.
That's the first one.
I just couldn't get through it. Yeah, well, you like dark romance. My goal this year on Goodreads is 40. It was 50, but I was 7 books behind schedule 2 months ago, and it was freaking me out, so I changed it to 40. I'm currently at 32 though, so I could possibly reach 50. And I'm thinking if I reach 40 and I've not really got any books, I'm I need to read this book. I might go back to those books just to see if I can push my way through them, because the
would make
Beartown
sense,
one I was
yeah.
like 58% of the way through
You might
when I
find
gave
something
up.
new in those early chapters as well.
So I might go back to that. So I'll pass you on to Ella Buchan to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Ella. I love books, but specifically buying them and surrounding myself with them. I do enjoy actually reading them and escaping into a different universe. I think the actual purchasing though, and like being surrounded by way more, just is such a relaxing.
I feel like we need to
environment.
put you in a book buying van.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I did just buy 9 Kindle books. Yeah.
I actually tried last year. My New Year's resolution was not buying books until my TBR was done, and then I went, birthday doesn't count. And I bought 20 books.
That's insane.
But it was all from the works, and they were all like series and big
That's fair
packaging
enough.
and things like that. So I was like, I saved so much money by doing it. I was really excited when Sophie suggested this idea to start a little podcast and a book club, because between the three of us, I thought we became very, very close from chatting in class about books when we maybe should have been not.
Focusing on work, yeah.
I've never joined book club because I go through periods of not finding time or not having the energy to read a book. I can't take huge book breaks from reading, like the same book. I can't take a big pause because I forget. And if it's something quite intricate, I have to go back. I can't be bothered. So I've been scared to join a club, but I feel like with this, you need 1 book a month. I feel like we could do it.
Yeah, it's doable.
The fact I'm able to binge a series in a week quite quickly. If I'm in the zone, I'm in the zone. I'm already ready.
And there's also that no pressure.
Chapters of the next one.
That no pressure. If we need to move, like say, oh, we want to film the podcast for this date. If you've not read it by then we can just move it back a little bit. In the sin bin. Yeah. You can go in the. You can get the dunces hat on.
I have a feeling I will be when I'm overwhelmed. But yeah, my favourite genres would be dystopian. The more like the exact same structure as all the other books, the better. Freaking love it. I love a romance. I am a hopeless romantic. And fantasy. Those are my three favourites. My favourite author, I would go for Ali Hazelwood, purely because she's one of the very few who talks about STEM subjects. And I have a little obsession with STEM. I loved physics back at school. I loved Big Bang Theory as a TV show. So I feel like I'm smart all of a sudden when I understand what's being written in a book. And it's a little cheeky romance, but it's got some Doppler effect or something like that. I'm like, I understand.
Well, that was opposite for me. I couldn't get through. I can't even remember which one it was.
Blood on the Brain, I think.
I couldn't get through it because it was like astrophysics or something.
Yeah, NASA.
And it was just going over my head. I couldn't get it.
Theoretically, I want to play Elsie Silver. That's the part I'd want. But yeah, I also love Hannah Grace.
A bit controversial in the book talk.
I love Daydream. That's my favourite one. I feel like that one's just, I feel like anyone could relate to it in some way, shape or form. The main character is really, really relatable. And it's a very vulnerable, innocent side that you see. And I feel like I myself relate to that and empathize with those thoughts that she has. I'm like, same girl. Me too. But I would say my overall favorite series, there's 2. Hunger Games. I love it. I have not read the new book though because I've been waiting to get a whole edition copies all the same, and for some reason that doesn't exist. And the same with my other favourite franchise, Chapter Me. The new book is hardback and I've got paperbacks of all of it. That needs to be a sin for authors publishing books that don't match the previous series. Like, don't do that. But yeah, I think that's.
Is that you? Is that you introduced?
Cool.
Do I need to say anything else?
Don't need to if you don't want to, no.
I'm done.
You're done. Right, we'll pass you on to Kyle Baillie next.
How's it going? I'm Kyle. And I would say out of our three hosts, I would be the newest to reading as a hobby consistently. With the degree that we're doing, we read a lot of plays and stuff, but reading as a pastime for me, I would always struggle with. So I thought joining some sort of book club that has a little bit of leniency to like, if I miss a few chapters or if like I'm running a bit late, there's not that mounting pressure of like, oh, well, I'm going to embarrass myself in front of all these people. It's my friends, it's people that I see all the time, so I can talk to them about it. And it's something that like, because we're acting students and that's the field that we want to get into, it's like another form of media that I feel like I've really not paid enough attention to, because there's so many stories that like I see a lot of films and a lot of TV shows. Like I'm a bit of a film buff, and I'm like I need to see more stories, learn more things, and like I think reading's such a great hobby for that. Starting off, I would say I was more into like horror. I think horror is such like an interesting genre because like the mind can make so many different possibilities. Like one of my favorite authors is Stephen Graham Jones. He does a lot of really interesting stuff. He released a book, the Only Good Indians, which was really cool. It was really, really interesting. The imagery that's in that book, if you've not read it, check it out. It's a solid read. I think I finished it in like 2 days. It
I
was
think
so good.
horror is such a hard one to write.
Yeah.
I think if you're a good horror author, you're like an amazing author because
Yeah.
it's such a hard one to
But
get
you
right.
saying that, I got nightmares over demon dentists.
And how old were you when you read this though?
No.
I didn't like it when they jumped
Yeah.
out at me when
Like,
they
I
popped up.
actually, like,
The Gruffalo.
I dream within a dream, like, kid you not, that I was asleep and I was in like a high up bunk bed, and I turned around and she was there, and I woke up and I couldn't tell if I was still dreaming and she was there, and like, I actually was like screaming across the house from my parents, and Ethan had to be like, she's screaming, can you go get her?
Go and check on her.
But like, I actually, like, that book got, like, you know, in France when Joey puts a book in the freezer, that was basically me with Demon Dentist.
I know, but if you were to
Here's the
go
big
back
pieces
and read that,
oh, I don't want to. It's the dad dying. Actually, like, I think that freaked me out more. When she like wraps him and pulls him back into the elevator shaft. I actually was like,
That's so funny. But that's the thing. Like horror as a genre, like I know people have a fear of the dentist and stuff, but it's like stuff like that that if you delve into it enough, that's just so interesting to me. Like it's just a way of learning about other cultures and stuff. Like Stephen Graham Jones, he talks a lot about native cultures and traditions, and like if you find it interesting, you can then look into that without the horror genre sort of like structuring it, I guess. But as of recently, I've been getting more into the romantasy sort of stuff. Shatter Me was where I started off. Had a great time. Fourth book was like an unskippable cutscene in a video game. It was brutal. I was just like,
I like
what
that
am I doing?
analogy.
It was like the longest book out of like. You had the first 3 books, which was like banger after banger after banger. Like it just kept progressively getting better. And then the 4th book, it's like a factory reset for the series, and it's like it's the longest book, and it's just about 2 characters getting buzz cuts and meeting some pals. And I'm just like, what? Genuinely, how have we made this the longest book? Like so much happens in the first 3, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm really interested. I like the characters. I like the dynamics we're setting up. And then book 4, I'm just like, okay.
have you got the novellas?
I have them on a shelf that I have not touched. I didn't realize that novellas were meant to be read in between
Oh,
the
I read
books.
them after.
So I'm gonna have to
I
read
read
them
them in
after.
between.
I have a sad thing where like a big series where you commit so much time to it over just like a book.
Yeah.
I get so attached to the characters that I'm sad that it's done. So when it's something like a novella where I can go back in time and that's where I finish it, finish it back.
I know,
You
but
see
you need
the
to be
characters in a
careful
nicer
with
place.
novellas because, like in the Powerless series, the novella for that you kind of have to read before you read the next
So
book.
it sets up the events of the next book.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
then, yeah, to be fair, that's a good point.
Yeah, it depends. Like, I think for Shatter Me, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah,
But
it's just like little
for certain
moments
books,
of the
you need
characters
to
from one.
do your research on whether or not.
Before it became a dual perspective.
That makes sense. I'd say out of all like the romantasy that I've read, probably The Cruel Prince is my favourite. Now, listen, The tail isn't mentioned that much. That's not.
That's the only thing I've heard about that
No,
book.
but that's the thing. You only got like 3 mentions of it, maybe 4, and it's like Cardane's a fantastic character. I really Jude is probably one of my favorite protagonists in books, like in fiction. She's great. She's really likable. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Is that you?
Yeah, if I go on any more, it's just going to be about the Crow Prince. Genuinely.
That's right. Have you had a favourite book this year? Would you say it's Cruel Prince?
No, the Wicked King, the sequel, the second book in the trilogy, and I know there's other books after it, but it's like about different people. But the Wicked King's so good. It's genuinely like, although like whenever you get into like a new fantasy, you have to have like the standard default 100 pages of getting to know the power system, getting to know like what the world's like, and then you get to know. Crow Prince was good for that. Like they sort of woven it well into the story. Like the Wicked King, wow.
Really?
Just right from the get go, you're like, I'm in. 100% I'm in. This is so cool. So Wicked King.
You go book recommendations already, guys.
Favorite book of the year, I'd say.
Ella wants to tell her favorite book this year.
Actually, can't decide.
We'll say them both.
I loved The Selection. That was my first book series of the year. It follows the same structure as all my favourite books. So, surprise, surprise, I'm just reading the same thing over and over again. With new characters, new magic stuff and all that stuff. But this time it was princesses, so very different. I think I sent you videos the first week of the year. I finished the whole series in a week. And I think I sent Sophie videos of me crying at like 3 in the morning going,
I think I woke up
I
to 50 videos sent
to me 100%.
one day.
And I was going like, I love it, but I've cried too many times. I was like, this is not how you start the new year. I was considering starting like a cry list of all the times you cry throughout the year. Like someone was like, oh, you should definitely do it. And I was like considering it. And then the first week I was like, no, I cried too much over just one series. Whereas I mean, like last year I cried at the beginning of the year, 15 minutes in, because someone licked my foot. So I think this upgrades.
It's like that scene in Talk to Me.
Editors, keep that in.
But yeah, so I did a selection. I read the Twisted series, like Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, Twisted Love.
I read the first one.
I like, which one was it? The controversial one that people don't like, I like because I'm like, oh, I can relate, which maybe is concerning. Twisted Hate. No, yeah, Twisted Hate. The one between Jules and the brother. I really not her brother.
Spoiler alert.
No, it's literally in the it's in the back of the book. But yeah, that's my favourite one out of the 4. Obviously, Twisted Games is a really good one, everyone will say. But I thought it was the realest one that people could relate to,
right.
Which I think is sometimes the best for books.
Yeah.
When you can relate and feel compassion for the characters.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've introduced ourselves.
Yes.
Let's get on with the podcast of how it's actually going to work. Yeah. So each kind of podcast will be like one a month, maybe some bonus ones, we'll see.
Yeah.
But each month we will pick 1 to 2 books each that we want to suggest for us to read. We will then put it in a spin wheel. Enter said spin wheel we have chosen. Yes, somewhere. And the Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune decided our book for this month.
Yep, and
so we'll insert that clip here.
Calm down. So we had a bit of an issue with recording and stuff. It's our first podcast.
Yeah.
So we've actually already picked last month's book and read it, so that we would have ultimately we'd have an episode review. Then we could talk about a book that maybe people have read. If not, if they want to go away and read it and come back and watch the podcast. And
it's like a review as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a review. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. So, if our editors would please enter the clip of this first spin wheel. And the book that was chosen and was suggested by our Kyle Baillie was
One Dark Window.
One Dark Window by
Rachel Gillig.
Okay. Anyone got strong opinions that they want to start off with?
I think we should give a little bit of a brief about this story.
Okay.
Yeah, you
let's
can
do
give us like
that,
a synopsis, I guess, for the viewers.
I'll read the back.
She'll read the blurb.
Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. I'm dyslexic. I feel like I just find myself up for
I don't know why you
No,
did
by all
that.
means, please.
He protects
Sight
her.
read.
He keeps her secrets. I have my glasses. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets her mysterious highwayman on the forest road, she is entrusted into a world of shadow and deception. Together they embark on a dangerous quest to cure the town of Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. As the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secret yet. The nightmare is slowly, darkly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him.
Very well,
Well
read.
done.
Very
Well
well
done.
read.
I'm impressed. So this was the book that Kyle suggested and the Wheel of Fortune chose. I'll just start as well.
Go for it.
So
Go for it.
I did like this book. I did, but it took me a lot to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have talked to Kyle a wee bit about this, which was bad on me. But
Sorry, Ella.
yeah.
Caught me out.
No, but this was like a general.
It's like a chit chat.
No, but a general book, just books. When it comes to like fantasy books like this, there's a really fine line between writing like a most magical, beautiful, romantic book or fantasy book, and setting up that world and creating it and writing it like it's so good and fast paced. And then there's a really fine line between that and just writing it as if you're getting paid by the word. I sometimes struggle with books where like the first like 150 pages is just a setup, and I think especially after reading the Powerless series, it was so fast paced and you didn't you just kind of flung into the magic system, and I felt like that was a great way of just you're in it and you've got to deal with it. Whereas this, there was a lot of setup.
That's fair. We didn't get a lot of explanations until further into the book.
Yeah, and I like the first. This could be because I was like sleep deprived reading the first like 5 chapters.
Yeah.
But I struggled so hard to understand what was going on at all in the first 5 chapters. I was so confused.
Yeah, I had to tab bits to go back to.
Yeah.
I forgot. Actually, no, I tabbed the first one I tabbed was the what's it called?
The dedication.
Dedication. Because I just thought it was quite cute. To the quiet girls with stories in their heads, to their dreams and their nightmares. I just thought it was really cute. But I tapped the other one with all the magic rules and things like that. So I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm going to read this at some point. Which obviously I did.
That was the thing for me. Like, although I thought, so there's the infection.
Yes.
That a lot of people with the mist that go into the mist could they get infected by these black vein things. That's already cool. The cards, it took me a while to get into.
Yeah.
I think for me, it did feel a bit, because to activate the cards, you need to tap them 3 times. That for me, it wasn't until you explained it, like, they're probably doing it in their pocket, and it's like.
Because you thought they were like doing this.
I was like, this is getting very anime. This is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, or I was like, this is. But no, as it went on and we got a bit more explanation and a bit like a bit more involved with the plot, I was like, you know what, cards are cool.
Yeah.
The book is structured in a part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is.
It's not part 3.
Yeah, there's 3 parts. Yeah.
I'll check that out.
The cards.
The cards is the first one.
And
the
it's
cards,
like the blood
the soul or the
something?
blood.
The blood, yeah. I forgot about part 3. But yeah, 3 parts. And I'd say part 1 is the one where it's like you've got to get through it. And once you're through it,
it does get good.
I binged the rest really.
Yeah, I read it quite fast.
I read part 1. I think I got a bit of part 2, and then I took the weekend off, and then I blitzed the rest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the thing is when you're in fantasy, once you get past that hard bit of like understanding what's going on, it is just like boom, and you're straight into like the whole plot. I did feel like sometimes it was a wee bit slow still.
Yeah.
After like part two,
There
like
that was something that came
for
to me.
action to happen,
mm-hmm.
and I was kind of going. It was those kind of moments where even Elm and Elspeth were going like, "Oh, we should go do something." Can't we have to wait for the others? I'm like, no, just go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should preface that this is probably going to be like entering spoilers into the book, so we could
If you're
like.
going to read the book, don't watch this until after.
Yeah, you can come back to us.
We'll just
and
put
see if you
a big before we start talking. This big spoilers.
Yeah, like a woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like for me, like I don't know how you guys thought, but like it took so long for our protagonist to find out that the nightmare was the Shepherd King.
I thought it was very obvious.
Yeah, it was painfully obvious.
So
And the fact
I
that
feel stupid now. It wasn't that obvious
really?
to me.
Oh,
I got to a point where it became more obvious.
Yeah, no,
but
right from the
it
get
wasn't
go,
that
when
obvious.
he was doing rhymes and limericks, like
I
he
was
was
like, oh, yeah.
Rumpelstiltskin,
He knows what's going on.
and then the Book of Alders being written in the same sort of rhymes. I was like, this is just, he's probably sacrificed himself or someone's trapped him in a card or something. And
you guys were so smart. I had no idea.
Like that was what I was thinking. But then I was thinking, Elspeth's had this nightmare in her head for 11 years, and she never once. Apparently, she read that book over and over again. She never once put that together. And I did it in 100 pages.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about
It's
yourself,
just it's very interesting to me because I was like, you don't get that reveal until like what 2/3 into the book.
Yeah, it's quite far into the book.
And I'm like, how have you not caught on?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
It would have been a nice reveal for you. It would have been a nice reveal.
Whoa! I know. I kind of was like, I did. I went, oh.
Also, one other thing, I kept reading it as Stephen King rather than Shepherd King. It was like Stephen King wrote this book of Alders.
I couldn't figure out how to say destriers.
Destriers, yeah.
I kept calling them
destriers.
This is something we should maybe talk about.
Yeah.
Does anyone else do what I do? Because I decided I do this and I started getting like, what?
Yeah. We thought you were audio.
Specifically,
I thought you're faking it.
For fantasy, where authors tend to make up random names, does anybody else go and search up like an audiobook and then get how they pronounce it? I take it from the dyslexic point of view. I can't read a lot of words.
I just
make them up.
My own version.
I search it up, and that was what baffled me with people not being able to understand the name Reese. There's people who are like, "Who's Reese?" I thought it was Rye. I was like,
yeah.
But no, I audiobooked the names to double check that it was Raven and Destriers and like all the ones that are not necessarily normal human names and words.
See, like I pronounced it Destrier because for some reason in my head I was like, the letters can make up like die. And that was my only explanation.
I called them the
Destriers.
Yeah, and I was like, they
make you die.
They make people die. So that's.
Talk about characters. What we thought about.
Yeah, who was everyone's favorite character?
It's a toss up. I liked Elspeth as a protagonist. I thought they were really interesting in the dynamic that they had with the nightmare. Who I don't know if I should count that as one character because it's internal. It's a part of her.
I would count them
separately.
The monster as a separate character.
Yeah, it's an entity. Yeah.
How I would do it, how I thought about it was if this was a TV series or a film, how like they would have a different character in like all dark, kind of like in the environment that she's in, and you'd almost have her breaking while everyone else is.
Just put it out there. If they are making a film or a TV show of this, I'd love to play the nightmare. I would be.
He is a nightmare.
I would love to just be like a demonic voice and so I think that'd be hilarious. And I'm just sitting talking in rhymes all day. And that's great.
Doing that now in class to people.
I'm gonna whisper Reagan.
Well, can I ask a quick question? No. So when the whole talking to the monster was happening in her head, I picture things really weirdly to other people. I literally pictured it as if like inside of a brain, like dark, small space, and this like monster just out and about. Or did you picture as if it's like someone else in the room, like she's seeing something?
Have you watched Guardians of the Galaxy? Not Guardians of the Galaxy. Rise of the Guardians.
No.
cartoon
I have,
animation.
but I've not seen it in a long time.
The bad guy in it,
Mhm.
you should watch it. It's a cute little animation. I imagine him. I can't remember his character name. But he's like a really long, all in black, and he's like quite greyed face, quite monstrous, and he's something about nightmares or something like that. And I was like, that's my shadow.
I
That's
pictured
my
him
monster.
more of like take the Gruffalo and a lizard and mash them. That's how I kind of pictured
To be
it.
fair, all we're kind of given picture-wise is the
Yeah.
smoke.
It's the mist.
I think the way I was sort of imagining it is like, you know, when you're having a nightmare and it's like, well, for me anyway, I almost see myself in third person.
Mm-hmm.
So I was imagining like this like sort of like shadowed version of the room that she's in. Because you had the switching of the eye color from her dark eyes to the yellow eyes. So it's almost thinking that's who's in control of speaking, but like obviously that's not what happens. But I was like, I just imagined it as like an overbearing darkness, maybe echoing through the room, like you can't quite tell where it's coming from. Like, is it behind her? Is it in front of her? Is it like it's this because it's internal? You don't know quite where it's coming from, but it's loud and it's evasive and it's taking your attention away from what's actually happening in the scene. It just felt like this like overbearing presence that sort of like similar to the mist that's surrounding the kingdom. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's a
almost like
good analogy.
it's surrounding her mind
Mm-hmm.
from different points.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I always love hearing how people picture things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite
Yeah.
character?
I feel like I'm slightly cheating with saying this purely because I've started reading the sequel.
So I got for reading the sequel, and you're going to bleep it out. You're going to.
Because you read it, I went, I'm gonna read it now. Because you started, I was like, I'm doing
We
that.
finished this
I'm
book.
on like chapter 16 already.
So we finished this book, and we'll talk about the ending later. But the ending was so abrupt. I was like, I need to read
I
the
love
next
the
one.
cliffhanger ending. I thought it
But
worked
that
for
means you
me.
need to read it.
Yeah, so I downloaded it on my
But
Kindle, started reading it, and I only read about 20 pages, and then I stopped. And then I texted them and said, "Oh, I've started reading the second one." They were like, "Sophie, it's a shit." I was like, "Oh."
Yesterday.
Well, if you enjoy this book, there is a sequel that
Yes.
you can read.
And it's so much easier to get into the sequel because it just jumps straight from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like Ione.
They're an
Ione's
interesting
character.
yeah.
In the first book, she's very interesting.
Well, let's not talk about the second.
You see her change, but the second book is even better. And like I'm loving her there because you get more information about her now.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like her. I think she's really, really interesting. And specifically
I
her
thought that-
card is really interesting.
The introduction of the maiden card was such an interesting like
It's very topical.
narrative. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like a very interesting like representation of like real world stuff and like feeling like you have to change your appearance to be seen as beautiful, and the fact that she's given it from like an outside source, almost like how like social media would be an outside source depicting people needing to make a physical change of themselves to be deemed worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting.
She's being set up for marriage.
Yeah.
And your gift is to look beautiful.
Yeah.
Now you can marry my
But then
son.
you've also got, he's now got the most beautiful bride, and yet he still cheats on her.
And the thing is,
and he hates her. And it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how beautiful you make you.
Still hurts.
If you don't love someone for who they are, it doesn't matter how pretty they are.
It's specified as well that it's not that she is ugly or anything. She's described as being pretty. Elspeth's jealous of her.
Yeah.
She's like, I wish I was more like you personality wise. Like I think that you're fantastic. But then there are what would societally be deemed as undesirable traits, like she's got a gap in her teeth, or these small details that make you an individual and make you more human. And I think that when they get the maiden card, that changes, and they become almost like this doll.
Yeah.
This perfect porcelain doll of like what the ideal look would be. Her teeth are fixed, like all of her features are polished, and it's just like it's kind of uncanny valley. Like there's something not right, and even Elspeth says it, it's like I can't even look at her because it doesn't look.
And
like
what
a,
doesn't help is you become cold-hearted with it. The longer you use it, you lose your identity of what made you. You lose personality. You become cold-hearted, which is really interesting.
I'd like to make a point there.
Yeah.
So this is something that also kind of, I don't know if you guys can change your mind on this. Like, you can put more facts in. But the whole point of the card system is the more you use it, the more you degenerate. The more like.
Well, that's magic in general.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah.
Every action has a consequence. Even if you're infected, you have a degeneration.
Yeah, degeneration.
Where the more you use it, you become weaker in a different perspective.
So there's that rule, and you see it with Ione. You see it.
Yeah.
You see right off the bat, she starts using this card, and she starts to become less and less and less herself. But then you see Raven, Elm, Heath, all of them use this card constantly, not just like once, constantly.
Once you stop using it, like if you turn it off, the effects stop.
Yeah, Ione's permanently
so
using
Ione's not. I know why. She's not turned it off.
Yeah, she's permanently
right.
used it day in, day
she's
out.
It's
she's
getting
constantly
worse
using
and worse for her because she's never turned it off, and nobody's touched the card to cancel out the magic.
Yeah.
So it's never been since.
See, that makes more sense.
She's not turned it off, whereas all the rest of them will turn it off and they'll stop having the side effects.
But at the same time, even that, I still feel like if you're going to say, like, even with Elspeth, she used the monster only not as much as the rest used their cards, and she degenerated so fast.
But then she has had it living in her.
Yeah, but she's not used it.
It also has different effects still on the body.
It still is living in you.
They specify that they don't quite understand what will happen to you. It will happen and affect you in different ways. I mean, like, it's described with the Scythe card. When using it, it feels like a piece of glass is being like smudged around in your head. And that's why they quickly stopped using it. Although, like, the bravado and like weakness is seen as like non-royal worthy or something. I don't know how it's described, but it's like they're actively hiding the pain that they're inflicting on themselves because they don't want to be seen as weak. But these things are dangerous, and I think with Ione coming from a place where she wasn't consistently surrounded by that and taught how to use it in a proper way, she's just keeping it on, and it's destroying her. And I think that's really sad.
I just think I would have liked to have seen a wee bit more from the characters that use their cards a lot, a wee bit more of a degeneration from them. Like, I get what you're saying, and everything you're saying does make sense. I think it would have enticed me more to see a wee bit more of this is starting to really affect them now because they're using it so much. Because they do use it a lot.
Well, the thing is, once they stop using it, that's it gone. And when it like refreshes every time you reuse it, Ione's the first character to never turn it off. So, and Ione only just gets it in the book. So all the rest of them have been using the cards before this. She only starts using it about what?
Yeah, not that far in. Yeah.
So she's got all of this plus the next book. And to be fair, it's not a long time. What? Spans over a month max. If we're gonna spread it out a lot.
Yeah.
It's not long. How long this book is, time rise compared to
the events happen quite.
It's quite continuous.
Quickly.
So yeah, I think. I mean, book 2 does expand into it a bit more, but that's because time's passing, and Ione's the only character we've ever seen or heard about using it consistently and not turning it off.
Yeah,
I get it.
But I mean, for the concept of having a cold heart, you don't care about having a cold heart. So that's that kind of thing. It's affecting other people, but because you don't care,
it's affecting other people with like a lot of pain and stuff, like the CC Scythe card, like whereas hers is making her cold hearted, so then she won't care. She's like, whatever. My favourite character, see, I don't know. I mean, Raven's a little bit of me, but but I actually, do you know who I really like? I really like Jesper and Elm as like a duo.
They're fun.
Like, I love a bit of comedy and these kind of dark scenes, and then bring a bit of light when Jesper sees Elspeth leave Raven's room
Oh,
and she
it's
starts
so good.
joking.
Oh, I
So
was
good.
And then when they're sitting at the table
It's
and
these little moments that matter a lot.
Elm's
yeah.
saying something and then he clicks on what's actually happened the night before and he's like, I'm like, I don't know, I just find it hilarious.
I think it's like it's so nice to have like an ensemble like that, like the dynamics that you have. Yeah,
I think Elm just reminds me a lot of Kenji and Shatter Me, and I love Kenji, and I was like, I don't know, he just like
Kenji and then Emerson's James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're all trying to protect them.
Yeah.
See, the same books, just rewrote different ways.
I don't want to say what the other characters are like because I know too much.
You're like the prophet. You're like, I know.
I am the shepherd king.
Yeah, I've foreseen.
I am Emerson. I can see the future.
Will we bring these questions out?
Yeah, go for it.
So we've got some kind of general questions. I mean, we've kind of answered some ourselves talking. So I'll just kind of pick one and just kind of briefly have a wee something about the questions. So, do you guys think this book is overrated or underrated?
I haven't seen a lot of people speak about it.
No, I've only just.
So you would say underrated?
I'd say underrated because I did enjoy it. I liked the sort of like. It felt very like Grimm's fairy tale to me. You know, like you have this protagonist in this kingdom. There's an exterior force. It's almost like a bit witchy with the involvement of magic. You have this kingdom in ruin, and I think that's always something that I've enjoyed ever since I was a kid. So I'd say it's underrated, and I think more people need to read it.
I agree. The book is still, I'd say, fairly new, 2021. I just checked.
Yeah.
And because it's a completed series as well, it's just the 2 books. I think this is a really strong book, and there's definitely a fan group that would love this and eat this up.
There's a demographic.
I mean, we're part of that demographic. We know the fan bases from other book series that would love this.
Yeah.
Shatter Me would be a huge one, and that's a huge fan base. They would love this.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think Rachel's very clever. I think she's got a lot. I think the first section takes a long time to get into, but once you understand it, it's a really good story to kind of get the gist of. So I kind of like to read other things that she's done.
I've kind of got 2 answers to that. So I think in the kind of general kind of population, yes, it is underrated.
Yeah.
But as someone who's chronically on book talk, like every TikTok, like every 5 TikToks is a book talk page.
Yeah, I get you.
I think, and it depends what you like, but I think what I've seen is it's correctly rated.
Yeah, it's
like,
properly rated.
Yeah, everyone who I've seen kind of talk about it or say they've heard about it, they've only said positive things.
Okay.
So I would say, and kind of book talk way, yeah, it's correctly rated.
It deserves a bigger audience, but it's seen as a good book.
Yeah.
I do think probably I hadn't really heard. I'd heard a wee bit of it, but I hadn't really heard much of it when you would suggest it. So I do think it's a wee bit underrated.
I think
for the mass.
People should hear more about it.
Yeah.
But it's getting the recognition it deserves.
Right. So that was our September read.
Yeah.
Will
we give a final rating?
A final rating, yeah. Have you decided? Have you made up your mind?
I'm still thinking. Give me a minute.
Okay, we'll start with Kate.
Okay, so I think for me, it does a lot right. I like the world building. I like the characters. Maybe with the second book, the character growth and the progression of that will fix some of the smaller issues I have. I think that the cliffhanger ending works for me. I think the fact that it's just 2 books, it's a nice duology. You can get it done and dusted. It enters you into the genre. I think that's all great. There's a few things that maybe don't work for me, and it would maybe work for somewhere else. So I'm probably going to set a 3.5 out of 5.
Good rating.
Yeah.
For me, mean, I can agree with you. Overall, was a really good book. I really enjoyed it, especially those last kind of 200 pages when it was getting more fast paced. But I've not read a lot of fantasy, but I've read enough to kind of go, I know where it sits and my kind of ratings in my head. So I would rate it probably 3 stars, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, this was absolutely amazing. It's just a good
Definitely.
book.
No, I can
I'd
respect that.
recommend it. There's some things that I will maybe change, but overall was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we're all very much similar. So I'm trying to mull over whether I'm going to give it a 3 or 3.5. Purely because it's my genre, it's right up my street, this whole vibe is amazing. And it's got the wholesome kind of relatable characters that I love. I feel like that's always like a winner when it comes to a book. If you can't relate to a single character, it's not a well-written book. I would want to say 3.5, but just because it took so long to get into it, give it a 3, because I've read this kind of genre where it is so much easier to get into it and there's been way more complications. I think maybe if we just ignore part of the beginning where it goes over all the cards and just kind of bring it up, this is the card, and this, oh my god, wait, is that the scythe?
Which she kind of does anyway, like as the book goes on in the next.
Find out about what the cards do and like who
as
sort of
they're
works
being
with
used.
them
If
and
you just
stuff.
said that there's 12 different cards, I like to call them the 12 days of Christmas tarot cards because it's exactly that. If they just said like, oh yeah, there's magic cards, I would have just accepted it and moved on. But because I had to like go, okay, well this card means this, and then it gets told anyway. I memorized something for nothing.
Yeah.
So
I keep learning lines.
the Liability Library rating is a 3 out of 5 on average.
Well, you said 3.5. Yeah, we'll go 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, so Liability Library stamps One Dark Window as a 3.5-star read.
There we go.
Lovely. So we'll quickly wrap this up because you guys need to go. But we're going to pick live on this podcast. Oh yes. Our next book for October.
We're wanting it to be a spooky read for October. But realistically, imagine the episode will come out end of October, start November, but it will be our spooky October read. So we've all given some suggestions.
Can't find it. Screen recording.
Oh, there you go. Sorry. Had technical difficulties. So this October month, I suggested the book We Used to Live Here. Kyle, what did you suggest?
I suggested Stolen Tongues.
And Ellen?
Girl on Train.
On the train.
On the train.
I think I forgot that.
He showed Girl on Train. I was like, what should I suggest?
So, I mean, we'll probably zoom this up. But do you want to give it a tap, Ella? Go on, you go.
That's another Kyle suggestion.
I think it's another Kyle suggestion.
Oh, wow.
So October book read, cause it's kind of spooky season. Yeah. We went for more spookier books, and this one is Stolen Tongue. Would you like to give a quick description?
So Stolen Tongues, it follows the Uncanny Valley, some weird sort of skinwalker sort of stuff, if you're into that sort of thing. I've always sort of been a bit of a horror fan.
You'll see my face go.
So you've got your two protagonists in a relationship, and they go to a snowy cabin for a romantic getaway, and all's not what it seems, and
that's all you're going to say.
They have some interesting.
It is.
I just want a nice little cabin romance.
It's Halloween. No. It's Halloween time. It's spooky time.
For anyone who is reading on a Kindle, I personally like to read a lot of books on Kindle. You can get them there cheaper and stuff. It is currently on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have a subscription, you don't need to pay for it. I don't know where you can get it. Probably Amazon or something.
Yeah. I have a physical copy that I've not started yet. So
perfect.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's a nice copy.
So yeah, we will see you next month.
Next month.
Thank you for watching Liability Libraries.